Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hello everybody, it's Kieran aka the Retro Lad here, and I've got a book review for you today. And as you can see, it is the wonderful new Sega Master System, a visual compendium from Bitmap Books. And I haven't reviewed anything from Bitmap Books for quite a while now. I think the last one I did was Arcade, where I actually backed the original Kickstarter of that. So I think my book actually came from the original Kickstarter campaign, but that's another book that Bitmap sell and still sell. It's a wonderful, wonderful book, and they've been doing quite a few of these visual compendiums, and the brilliant folks there. Big shout out to Sam Dyer, who runs Bitmap Books, have sent me a couple of books to review, which was absolutely awesome of them. So full disclosure there. And as normal, as soon as I start filming, I have two of my cats causing chaos right next to me. Maybe I should start shutting them out the room when I film, because it seems they are unbelievably attracted to my camera and they seem to want to be YouTube stars. So there we go. But back to the book, and yes, so this is the latest visual compendium that they've launched, this one for the Master System. It's officially licensed from Sega, hence the logo with the R, and it comes with, woo, an amazing pair of 3D glasses, which I just thought was absolutely awesome, because everybody knows that one of the best add-ons for the Master System was the 3D glasses. It was the first time that you could, play games in 3D on a home system, and there were quite a few cool games that used the 3D glasses, like Zaxxon 3D and Missile Defense are the ones that spring to mind. And the cover I must bring attention to first of all, because you're probably looking at that thinking it's a pretty normal cover, and not everyone seems to spot this, so I will point it out. But the images that are on the front of all these visual compendiums make up the alphabet. So you see A for Alex Kidd, B for Bonanza Brothers, C for Columns, D for Dr. Robotnik, E for Enduro, etc. If you didn't realise that, it's probably now really obvious and you feel a bit silly, but there we go. So I must bring this closer, because this cover, those are actually, I think they call it a lenticular cover, if I remember rightly, but they're kind of holographic. So I'll show you what I mean. So if I move this closer, I'm hoping that the camera will pick it up. So if you move it one way, they do actions. So the hang on bike moves from side to side. The Golden Axe guy walks. The little Kung Fu kid there kicks. Absolutely brilliant. It is really, really cool. Sonic goes into his role. Yeah, it's actually it might work better if I do it like that, doesn't it? I'll bring it forward and then back. Yeah, really, really awesome. Anyway, absolutely incredible. So there we go. That's the awesome cover. And actually, I have to actually open this to get the book out, because it is like a really hard case that it's in, basically. So there we go. It's got a little bit about it on the back, and says about the Master System. This book is $29.99 or US $39.99, which when you see how big and heavy and hefty it is, I think that's incredibly reasonable. Obviously published by Bitmap Books, and games you loved as well. Brilliant website run by a good friend of mine, so well worth checking out as well. So let's get this out. So I have to just kind of put it on its side to pull it out. So there we go. This is the actual book, and you can see there that's the standard cover. So that's just all the images, and this is like a proper hard book. It's a wrap, so it's the same underneath. There's no different. So we've got the cover wrap. So we'll try to go through it now. I'm going to try. Hopefully the camera will get it all, because I found it quite hard to get an angle of the camera where it fitted all in nicely and I could still reach it, because it's not as massive in terms of size of the pages as you might perhaps think. It's a little bit smaller than you'd see with a lot of these. but obviously it makes it up for it in the width and the pure content. So there's the intro and all the contributors and the contents and all that usual stuff, copyright messages and stuff, forward by Mark Cerny. Mastering the system, so as all the history of the MAS system from its origins as the Mark III in Japan, successor to the SG-1000 and the SG-1000 Mark II, and then obviously the MAS system in North America and in Europe, so there's a Sega Mark III there. And yeah, so it goes through not all the games, but certainly a large portion of them and a lot of the best ones. And being called Visual Compendium, you can see it's very visual. So we've got like these full-page screenshots with a little bit about the games, and there's interviews in here as well with some of the people who worked on a lot of these games. And look at that brilliant fold-out page there for Alex Kidd in Miracle World. That's fantastic. I love that. That's absolutely brilliant. And the write-ups that you'll see here for each of the games, some of them are from like well-known journalists, YouTubers, people who run, websites and such like. And there are some that are actually insights from the people who develop the games. So we've got a mix of both, which is pretty cool. I don't want to show you the whole book, so I'm going to start flicking through it a bit now. So there we go. Interview with the guy behind Fantasy Zone. Space Harrier, which we all know and love. Super Tennis, Great Tennis. Afterburner, great action shot there on that. Bank Panic. Great volleyballs. You see that the layouts look absolutely gorgeous. The screenshots blow up really nicely. And the quality of the print, the colour is second to none. I mean, you see probably the light shining off the pages quite a bit because they're really glossy. I mean, it's really beautifully done, the way the book looks. And they've really brought the vibrant colour palette of the MAS system to life here. So there we go. It says I was talking about Missile Defense 3D. So there we go, Missile Defense 3D. So what you can do is, if you want to view that properly, you can get your 3D glasses and you can put them on and then you can view it properly. I don't think obviously it'll work doing it on camera because yeah, it's not going to work. But yes, that's what you can do. You can put them on to view those pages properly, which I think is an amazing touch. Whoever came up with that idea, absolute genius. Quartet there. Gangster Town, like that game actually. So here's another fold out one actually for Zillion, which shows a full map that folds out on both sides, which is really cool. Zillion games are great. There's Maze Hunter 3D. Skip through a bit. Aztec Adventure. There's you get also these images of some of the add-ons and peripherals. So there's the weird Sega control stick. Close up of that. What's this one here? An interview with John. Is it Sawyer or Sauer? And he worked for Tonka Toys, so he was part of the launch of the MAS system in America because it was handled by Tonka, who actually messed it up quite a bit. So there's the good old bookmarks in red and blue for saving your place in the book. What we got there? R-Type, awesome conversion. So there we go. You have a look at the hardware there as well. It's not just the games. Game Ground. Absolutely love Game Ground. Handle controller. Shadow Dancer. Forgotten Worlds. More System 2. Nick Alexander. Sonic the Hedgehog, of course. Strider. Master of Darkness. And let's look at the box art. And this is cool because obviously the box art for the MAS system is actually pretty famous because of the early games with their really minimalist style. And some of those are really awful, it has to be said. I hope they show a few of those because they were really bad. and the Japanese art is completely different with these gold cartridges, as they call them. It's really different and it's really cool. Oh, I haven't showed any of the minimalist ones, but maybe that's because they are crap. Let's put it that way. Roadrunner. There's a side-on one for Sonic Spinball, which is quite cool. Disney's Aladdin and Master System Brazil, which is great to see because obviously the Master System did amazing in Brazil. In fact, they still sell plug and play Master Systems in Brazil. It's never come off the market, you know, and they released games, you know, right through into the 90s. I mean, you had stuff like, you know, Baku Baku, which is most people know as a Saturn game, and Street Fighter 2 and stuff like that coming on. They had, you know, they had games that were exclusive to Brazil, so it's really good to see an article on the Brazilian games as well. Legend of Illusion. And then thanks to all the people who backed the Kickstarter campaign that they did for it, and that's about it. So yeah, I mean, I think anybody who knows their retro gaming books and buys them quite regularly will know that you know, the Bitmap book stuff is just it is absolute quality. And you know, I have to say that I think, you know, and this is coming from someone who obviously publishes their own books or through a publisher, but you know, I make my own retro gaming books. You know, I've done 4 of those now, but I don't think anyone in the, you know, the publishing field comes close to Bitmap in terms of quality for these books. I mean, these books are absolutely leagues ahead of what everyone else is doing. I mean, if you compare some of the other people who've done visual compendiums like Fusion books, for example, they're not a patch on these. I mean, these are hardback. They you know, they have features like, you know, including 3D glasses, fold out pages, you know, the developer interviews, you know, the attention to detail and design, you know, the fact checking. You know, you won't find any errors in these books. You know, they are so good. I mean, I can't say enough good things about them. You know, and the Master System for me, I never had one, you know, growing up. But one of my best friends, James Cairns, did. In fact, he got a Master System quite early, and I can vividly remember going around his house and playing stuff like Zillion and Outrun and Space Harrier and Shinobi. And I can remember playing all of those games around his house and actually, you know, being blown away by them at the time, because, you know, the only thing I had to compare it to was my Spectrum, you know, and the Master System, you know, with its you know, colours and stuff looked absolutely leagues ahead of what I was playing on the Spectrum, you know, and I always thought it was incredible. And funnily enough, he later upgraded to a PC Engine, so he blew me away again when he went and got a PC Engine, but on import. But you know, I love the Master System for that reason, and I had a few other friends a little bit later on who bought them as well. But I'll never forget, you know, almost begging to go around James's house after school, you know, to play on his Master System because it was so cool. And you know, I have a lot of love for the system because of that nostalgia of playing it when I was younger, and you know, that kind of wow factor that I saw from it. So to have a book like this that goes through all the games, it is amazing, you know. And I've actually written a Master System Master System book myself. I'd already done 3 digital volumes, which I was going to turn into a print book, and I held my print book back, and I've held it back until next year at least, because of this one, because I knew that my book would not compete with this one. This one is so good that I knew it would just blow mine out of the water, and it would be a pointless exercise putting my one out there. So, you know, that tells you, you know, how in awe I am of Bitmap stuff. It is really that good. So, you know, if you've got a Master System, or you love the Master System, you know, grew up with one, whatever, then this book is an absolute essential for any Sega fan, really. And you know, if you're looking for Christmas presents for people who love Sega, then, you know, I don't think you could pick something better than this. It's, you know, it's come out at an ideal time, and yeah, wonderful all round. So bravo to all the team behind this. A most excellent product, and I suggest everybody goes and buys one right now. As usual, I'll stick a link to where you can get it in the comments below. And I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all again for another one very soon. Thank you. Bye bye.